We now return to the Park Shore Coin and Collectibles Hour on Fox Sports Radio. And now, your host, Scott Heiligman.
Welcome back to the second half of the Park Shore Coins and Collectibles Hour. If you were listening to the show in this first half, you heard a lot of really cool stuff. We were talking about everything collectibles, and Scott and I get into these in-depth conversations about valuations and how people perceive what they have, how valuable it is versus real value. Yes. And when it comes to coins, it might be weight versus intrinsic value. We talk about numismatic ideas. There's always something out there, and there's always something to discuss when it comes to the world of collectibles.
And endless questions, too.
Endless questions.
That's what makes it so great. No 2 days are the same at Park Shore Coin. There's always new challenges, new things that we learn, and we get to pass that along, too. Having that experience benefits the next customer who walks in the door, whether you're a seller or a buyer. You know, it's nice to have someone on your team who knows what they're talking about.
You mentioned in the break that you used to have on your website a $5 coupon.
Yeah, free evaluation. Bring it in. I'll give you $5 to take a look at your
stuff. So not
stuff.
only do you get a free evaluation,
I know, right?
And here's what he looked at me and he said, that's a gallon of gas.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? We need to mention that on the air. You come in to see Scott. Not only you get the free evaluation, but he's going to pay you. He's going to pay you for a gallon worth of gas.
Yeah.
So wherever you are in our listening area, you can get to him. With $5 worth of gas.
And we undoubtedly advertise in the inside coop. It goes to every single mailbox, pretty much in Southwest Florida. It's called the Inside Coop.
Good.
Keep an eye out for it. We put a half-page in there, and that $5 coupon's on there.
That's
now
excellent.
we'll probably have Ian put the coupon on the website, because we have our ad up there so our listeners can print it out and bring it in. But I think that is a nice incentive. If you are on the fence and you live out in Lehigh, and you're like, maybe I don't know if this is worth it. Yeah, text me and we can go to it. But hey, if you have a $30 coin, now it's worth $35.
There you go.
Always tell me afterwards that you have the coupon.
Or if you just
sometimes you might get a beat out of it.
If you just want the evaluation and you want to stop at
that's true.
Starbucks and have a Starbucks and a sweet roll on your way home, there's your $5.
That's right.
So it's worth the trouble to come to Mockley Road and visit Park Shore Coin and Collectibles. They're right off the highway, easy to get to, no matter where you're coming from. It's perfect.
Very
right
safe, very clean, very nice building.
And you're going to be very impressed. You're going to be impressed with the knowledge. And that's what you got to really look at. Scott is like a partner that you'll have here in Southwest Florida.
Like a broker almost.
A broker.
Like a realtor that you really trust, or a broker,
Yeah, guides you through the collectibles world.
Yep.
And we've talked about all the things that you might have, whether it's sports memorabilia, baseball cards, political buttons, vintage toys, musical instruments, watches. We ended the segment, the last segment, talking about, we mentioned it, I guess, watches. How hot the
luxury watch market, which is
is
a big market down here in Southwest Florida.
Yeah.
A lot of watch collectors.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of expendable cash down here. So, like you said, you have your IRA, you have your pension, you have this, but then there's some alternate methods you can put away some money, and watches have been one for a long time.
Now, you've seen this demand.
Oh, it's gone through the roof, No, I mean, like Rolex dealerships, they can't keep any inventory.
Right.
It's all gone, and the minute that it sells at a dealership, they're up 20-30% on the secondary market.
Right.
And so people actually, if you buy from an authorized dealer, they will tell you, we do not want you reselling this. And if you do, you can never buy from us again.
Really?
Yeah, they take down the serial number, they take down the model, and they say if this ever hits the secondary market, you can no longer buy a brand new Rolex from our dealership. That's where it's gone. Because the dealerships negotiate the price with Rolex, that we can only sell this watch for, make up the number, $25,000. Even if it's worth $40 on the secondary market, they cannot price it over $25,000. So they don't. Wow. They have to sell it for that. So they don't want the person who's buying it, making the money for whatever. I don't know why they care.
Yeah.
I mean, they should be happy that the customer
you would think
can
so.
go. But I would be more than happy.
Let's hope that the De Beers
but that's what's
doesn't-
going on with Rolexes and Patek Philippe's, these high-end watches. And yes, they got shut down for a while, the manufacturing, because of COVID.
Right.
So that was a cumulative effect. But a lot of money went into the market.
If I called you and I said, "Hey, Scott, I got a couple of watches I want you to look at," what would be the procedure? What would you say to me?
You bring it in. A lot of times now, if you have like the box and paperwork, can do a lot of it without having to. First step is you have to pop the bracelet.
Right.
So then I can look at the serial number and the model number.
Right.
Right. And then sometimes I have to, pop the back to see if the movement is working and that it is a proper movement for the brand that you're selling.
Right.
Because what will happen is people will take out the movement of the Rolex.
Right.
And put in, because that's what's expensive on a lot of it.
Yeah.
It's just that. And they'll replace that, and then they'll have like the band and the case will be real Rolex, but the movement won't be.
Okay.
So you got to double check that.
Okay.
And that's why the box and paperwork and receipts are so important to somebody like me.
Yeah.
It takes out so much of the guesswork.
Right.
Because now I just know what's what and what's not what.
As long as the serial numbers, and the serial numbers are more than one place on a watch, right? I mean,
not on Rolexes. They're just on the inside of the. There's some on the movement sometimes, but
it would be in the
usually on
paperwork
outside.
too.
Yeah. Then you match it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the model.
Okay.
And the year.
And there you go. And he mentioned something else. If you've got it and you have the box, don't throw the box away.
Very important.
Keep
Sometimes
the
about
box.
$500.
Yeah. And you know what? It's interesting. Packaging. Packaging is a whole nother realm of collectible.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got watches or jewelry and you've got the original
Nintendo
packaging. Games.
Oh, that's the big one. Super Nintendo. Nintendo sold for tens of thousands in the original mint packaging.
Right. Right.
It's never going to get used.
Right.
It's just because it's still in the cellophane.
That's amazing.
Isn't that bizarre?
That's amazing.
But that's the most expensive Nintendo that's ever sold.
Yeah. Well, you see that in collectibles at auctions where they have, say, toys, antique toys, or even modern day toys like Star Wars or Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
You see that, and people want it in the package. They want to see the
They
package.
want it in the pack. Yeah.
That brings the value.
Oh yeah.
It brings the value.
Brings it back to day one when you're a kid and you're opening it for the first time. That's kind of why.
That's what we're all looking
Yeah,
for.
I
That
think so.
feeling, that
Yeah.
exhilaration.
It makes sense.
Okay. Well, while we're on this idea, and we're going to talk about.
Did somebody email?
Yes, somebody had
cool.
emailed, and I'm going to read what they had sent. It said, and this is from Brian and Benita. He said, Scott, can I send you pictures of several coins that I have collected over the years? Can you evaluate them before we meet?
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, evaluation over text message is easy. Just make sure you take a picture of the front and the back of the coin. Very important. And you can do 4 coins in one, so you don't have to send me 10 pictures.
Right.
You can put 5 coins on one picture.
Okay.
So do 5 coins of the front and then 5 coins of the back.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a good idea right there. I can tell a lot of condition.
Yeah.
I know exactly what the coin is just by the picture.
Yeah.
I can get a lot of work done, especially on the pre-1964.
Right.
That stuff is very easy to determine value.
Well, in today's
versus
phone cameras, the quality.
Yeah,
can be
they're
excellent.
outstanding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
There's no grain. A lot of times I can even tell fake ones.
Really?
Yeah, just by looking at them. Which back on an old camera phone, you couldn't do that because it's too grainy.
Yeah.
Now with the high definition, I can, for sure, I can tell something's off just from pictures. And that's the second and third hand. Other people, we can just tell by pictures nowadays.
Yeah.
Getting a second and third opinion.
Are you with the price of gold and silver and with the premiums that are being paid, how things are changing hands? Are you noticing an uptick in imposters?
Yeah, there's
fakes?
always people looking for the easy way out.
Yeah. Do you notice them more now than you used to? I mean, and I bet some of them are pretty high quality.
They are. I've been reading about more.
Right.
It's not that the particular break them to me.
Mm-hmm.
I do a pretty good job of weeding out people as well. When a lot of times customers call first.
Yeah.
A lot of my advertising says by appointment only for reasons, and so I can kind of get through it that way. But yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of that out there.
Right.
And I'm part of groups where I get emails when scammers come out and say, hey, this person's been trying to do this and this in South Florida. They're probably going to try to come. There's only so many places to sell this stuff.
Well, in the
they're going
business,
to literally take their time to look at your items and offer you cash.
So in the business you're in, you're part of a group that may be men all over, men and women all over Florida, and you talk to each other and you say, look out for this scam.
Oh yeah, and even one is run by sheriff's offices.
Okay.
Yeah, when things are stolen, they go out, keep an eye on these coins.
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and in my dealer groups.
Yeah,
sure.
That's interesting.
If there's large amounts of coins that went in, especially like the certified coins, and they all have serial numbers on them.
Okay.
Every certified coin comes with the registration number.
Right.
So if there's a big loss, sometimes they get lost in the mail. Mm-hmm. Somebody's, just the other day, a couple Rolexes went missing from one of the big carriers.
Really?
$150,000 watch.
Wow.
Yeah.
It happens.
You know?
It happens. You have to wonder, we're so loose in so many
You just
ways.
never know who to trust, you know? You got to be
Yes.
very careful when you drop the items off, too. You know?
Well, you will ship things that have value all over the country.
Yeah,
all over
I
the
do
world.
registered mail. The
Yeah.
United States Postal Service is the best. Just takes a few extra days.
Right.
Now, when people want to rush and do overnight and next day, FedEx, UPS, that's where issues come in. When you're talking registered mail, there's no issues.
Right.
They send the highest classified documents that way. It's lock and key through a supervisor only, through the U.S. Postal Service network, and they get there.
Yeah.
And they're fully insured.
Yeah.
You can't put tape on the boxes.
Right.
I have to use special tape that's
Yeah.
not plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We seem to think
So
as a society
there's ways
that,
of doing it
Yeah.
the right way, and that's why it's important who you're doing business with. Because even if you're buying a $300 item, you want to get in there properly.
yes.
It's a lot of money to some people.
Yes.
It's their entire savings for some people.
Yes.
Where some people will, just do a regular $2,000 bullion, just send it in the mail.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Isn't
Things
that-
get taken.
Isn't that
things,
amazing?
yeah.
It's in USPS, United States Postal Service. We seem to think as a society we have to send things FedEx or UPS.
No, they're the best.
But the reality is the old way.
Insurance-wise,
Yeah.
by far.
Yeah.
The other ones have policies, but they're not as clear and concise as the United States Postal Service registered mail
That's interesting.
by far.
That's interesting.
And they're not terrible. I mean, they're a little bit more expensive, but not for what you get.
Yeah.
And not when it comes to the insurance part.
Yeah.
They're on par with the other two, and there's no questions when it comes to payouts. There's no stipulations.
Right.
They let you know, yes, we insure bullion. Just document it.
Yeah.
Where FedEx and UPS, you can't really insure bullion unless you have a third party insurance company.
Yeah.
Because unless it's certified, they're just going to say, oh, it's not. How do we know that's a real gold ounce?
Yeah.
We're not going to pay out.
That's true.
It's all in the paperwork. So
There's
they
a whole
say,
different-
unless it's certified and PCGS or NGC says that's an ounce, and they'll take your insurance money
Uh-huh.
for years. They'll take your money and say, oh, and you'll have your peace of mind that you insured
Yeah.
all this bullion all this time. But no.
Hmm.
They never would have paid out.
That is interesting. So if you're listening to the show, and let's say you're a snowbird, and you're getting ready to head back north, and you visited with Scott, you say, Scott, I've got some things back at my home up north. I'm going to send you some pictures. If you want to do business with him from a distance, he's very qualified for that.
Absolutely.
You can see that.
Oh, yeah. We send you the label insured. I have several customers that do that.
Yeah. Well, I
But-
imagine, you've been in business
But
for a
that's
long
because
time.
we're in a
Yeah.
like half the people live here half the year, though.
Yeah.
So in our community, half the people are here half the year, and then the other half, they go back up north. Well, a lot of times their collections are up north. They meet me down here.
Yes.
They bring me some of the stuff, and they say, we're just going to mail it to you, or we'll bring it down next year.
Right.
You
and
know?
you give them, you make suggestions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can do it. If they want it gone,
Yeah.
and they're trying to sell their house up north, and now they don't want to go meet another person to do a coin deal with, they already met me.
Right.
They know they can just send it in the mail,
Yeah.
and I'll get it and send them a check and pay them accordingly,
I would imagine
which is
that,
very nice. It always gets there as long as we do it properly, and I walk you through the steps of how to professionally package it. Not an issue. But that's, down here, I think it's 80% of the people leave. I think the population literally goes from 100% to like 25% after season.
It may in some neighborhoods, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you know what?
In some neighborhoods, that's right.
In some neighborhoods, and if you're dealing with people from up north, absolutely get in with them. Get in with them, help them.
That's the idea. You want to help, right? And just kind of provide that service.
Yeah, make
And
sure
then
that
just build the
they're able to
trust.
do it. That's a trust issue.
Of course. And on these high-end items, yes.
Yeah. So
I mean, we're not dealing with trinkets and this and that. I mean, these are items that people have been holding on to for 50 years,
yeah,
100 years.
yeah,
It was given to their grandparents. It was their mom's wedding ring, their dad's watch. These aren't items that just come along every day.
Right.
They mean a lot to people.
right.
And I don't take that lightly. It's not like you're just like another number kind of.
Knowing that people have,
Been holding on to these things.
yeah, they have an emotional interest in a
Yeah.
lot of things that they've collected or that they've inherited. They need to know that there is a safe place to bring them,
Uh-huh.
and that you will handle
Yep.
them respectfully.
For sure. And what also that does, it also it clouds people's judgment of what things are worth.
Mm-hmm.
That which also, we talk about what's challenging. That's a big challenge.
Right.
Because people put a value on things emotionally a lot of times that are, kind of make it very tough to buy.
Right.
Because they have a number that's so through the roof,
Yeah.
which is fine, but it's, that's part of the emotional attachment. Is
Yeah.
now we have to come to a price that it's a good enough price that they can break through that emotional attachment and kind of move on with it.
Yeah.
So it's
I
all
know.
kind of part of the challenge. That's what I signed up for. I don't mind doing it, but
Right.
it's a big hurdle.
I think
lot
that
of
once
times.
once people let go of things, they're okay.
Once
They're
they do, yeah. But
Well-
that's the hard part, though.
So, but you're talking about things like watches or diamonds, jewelry, sports memorabilia,
Sterling silverware sets.
sterling silverware sets.
Yeah, everyone seems to have one of those.
Yeah, and if
Just
they
lying around collecting dust or a
and
few pieces.
most of those are by weight.
Yeah, and quite frankly, each fork is usually over an ounce.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean, so one fork you'll get about $20 for.
right.
Depending how some are smaller, some,
Right.
but a lot of forks, 1.5, 2 ounces. Now these are sterling 925,
All right.
but still
So 95,
It adds
925
up.
means 92.5%
pure.
silver.
Yep.
Right. So keep that in mind that you're not talking about pure silver, but it has value, especially if you have a set that's got 25, 30, 40 pieces in it. It have some value.
Oh, lots of value.
Yeah. So if you've got something like that collecting dust,
Yeah.
give Scott a call at 239-961-0816. That's 239-961-0816.
Yep.
I think on your website, parkshorecoin.com, you've got some pictures of sterling silver, and you actually have a couple of
Oh,
testimonials
for sure.
of people that have sold sets, sterling silver sets, tea sets, utensils.
Candle sets,
Candle sets.
a lot of bowls.
Yeah.
That's the one thing we can kind of expound upon is a lot of people have these big serving trays. I mean, these are probably the most common thing people will have because they get so excited because they're so heavy. These things are huge, and they're huge serving bowls.
Right.
But usually, if you look on the bottom, it's going to say EPNS, which is electroplate, nickel, silver. Now,
silver
now I
plate.
do buy this stuff because there is a little bit of value, but very rarely, because we're talking $500 plus if they're
Right.
real silver.
Right.
So serving platters, bowls, people bring them in. I mean, every day they'll bring in 10 of them, and these are the heavy items to carry in.
Yes.
These huge serving pieces. A lot of times they'll be like these buffets. You see, they look, stainless, but
Sure.
once they get tarnished, you can't really tell. And you have in your mind that they're probably silver. You've thought for 50 years they were silver.
Right.
But they're not usually.
Well,
They'll be stamped sterling. That's why it's so important, and we just always say that in here. But that's even if you're like at a Goodwill shopping or at a garage sale, we're in garage sale season, yard sale. If you're looking for items, look to see if it says sterling on the back and buy it. 'Cause a lot of people will put it out for sale, just thinking it's just a serving bowl worth $5-10.
Right.
When really it's worth $200-300
Right.
if it's $925.
Right.
Because those things are usually 20-30 ounces.
Now, as far as sterling goes, European silver sterling is sometimes 800, 900.
Yeah, 900.
Yeah, it's not as high a content as American
No.
sterling.
No,
So, but old German silver still has a value.
very valuable.
You can still bring it in. You can find a mark on it.
Yep.
A lot of times you'll see things that have
Hallmarks.
hallmarks.
Like a lion is a
Right.
big one.
Right.
Yeah, that's one of the early mistakes I made was I relied too much on has to say 925 or sterling.
Right.
I didn't know back in the day. There
that's
wasn't
been-
internet when I started this job
No, that's
back in the
been-
early 2000s. So anything that had like a lion's head, I must have turned away a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
I probably was turning away 800
Right.
at that point
Right.
because I just didn't know that 800 meant 80% in Europe.
Yes. Yes.
I was just taught it has to say sterling because it does have to say sterling. Otherwise, it's a good place to start. Because if it doesn't say sterling, you're in trouble with it.
Right.
So I kind of took that as if it doesn't say that, it's probably not silver.
Yeah.
Turned out not to be true.
Yeah. Don't
So
think of all
somebody,
those-
hopefully I sent back, and this is back 15, 20 years ago. So that won't happen at Park Shore Coin. I have all the testing, everything. Now I have files where even if there's nothing on it, I can file down or run it through my Sigma machine to see if there's 80% silver.
Right. So if somebody wanted to come visit you, they could just learn a lot being around you. I
Yeah,
mean,
or
there's-
listen to the show.
listen to the show, which you can listen to on podcasts,
Everywhere. YouTube.
YouTube. We need to let our listeners know.
That's
Go
right.
to YouTube,
Oh, for sure.
and you can watch the
Subscribe
show.
and like
yeah.
us. We want you on there too, and then you get to see what we look like.
Oh,
you get
my
to see the
goodness.
beautiful newsroom.
I should have worn a cleaner shirt.
I know, right?
So there you go. There you go. You can see who we are. Go visit that. Either way, you're here to help.
Here to help.
That's what
here
your
to have
main
a nice small
objective is.
business in Naples
Yep.
to serve the people, and build something special.
And-
What do they say in the Field of Dreams? Build it, they will come.
Build it, and they will come.
That's right.
And you found that to be true. You've had a lot
So
of
far,
clients.
it's been very good. Yes, yes, good response, and It's a great area to do it.
It's a diverse clientele too,
yeah.
isn't it?
Oh, for sure.
Young, old,
Mostly
in between.
old, but yeah.
Yeah.
You get it all. Because you get people who inherit stuff,
Mhm.
so they're going to be younger.
Right, right. And it's a broad spectrum of things too. You get sports memorabilia, jewelry, coins.
Those are the three big ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be just that. Collectibles can be other things.
Like we say, just look on eBay. I mean, if it's got a market on eBay and there's a ton of bids,
Yes.
always look at completed items. Don't look at what things are going for.
Right.
Look what people are bidding on. And if you see your item on there and there's a bunch of bids or there's a completed sale, there's probably a very good chance I'm interested.
So that's a good basic evaluator.
It's a great bet. Yeah, that's one of the best websites there is.
Yeah.
It's an open marketplace that anyone can go on there and research comparables and comps and get a very, very good idea of what they have and what their items are worth.
Now, on the reverse, if you've seen something that had no bids, it's been up there for a month.
Probably overpriced.
Probably overpriced.
Yeah. You'll be able to find something, though, that's been sold. You just have to do an extra step. But if there's something on there for sale, there's probably been something on there that's sold. But a lot of times that number is vastly different. Okay, for instance, I've had a baseball card on there. You can't find that same card for $375. They're all buy it nows, $354, $450. If you did an auction, it'd sell for about $125, $150. Sometimes half the price or less of what everyone's asking. So what that means is all 8 of those people, they're just all overpriced. And it just takes one person to overprice something, and then the next 7 person who list, unless they're astute and say, maybe I want to go $5 under, most people aren't like that. They're like, you know what, I like what this guy's priced at, or I'm going to go a little bit higher. Maybe I'll go $1 higher. And that starts a domino effect where 19 items become overpriced. And then all of a sudden, you got this card from $400 to $700, but the real price is $150. Because that's an auction price. I do everything. I started off as $1 and I do 7 days and ended on a Sunday.
Okay.
That's to me, that shows what it's worth.
Right.
And it gets 50 bids and it gets to $140.
So that's another aspect of your business. You buy,
Yep.
and you'll pay top dollar, and you'll pay cash on the spot, and you'll value things correctly. But you will also broker. If someone wanted to bring something to you and say, I'd like for you to put this on eBay. I just can't monitor it. I don't know all the specifics. Maybe they're not technically literate to the point where I don't want to do eBay,
and they're afraid of being scammed.
Yes.
Unless you're a top-rated seller like I am and do it for a living, if you're a newbie seller on there, you open yourself up to being scammed.
Right.
What happens is an astute buyer who's been doing it for a long time will see a newbie, and then they'll say, I never got it, or they'll show the package empty when it arrived, and it's always on the seller. eBay always reverts back to the buyer. They're going to protect the buyer because they're the credit card payer.
Yeah.
So you're the one as the seller who's going to lose every time. It's just how it is, and that's something that I expect as a seller. But I know the proper steps and procedures to prevent things.
Good.
And as a power seller, I feel like it's a deterrent from people trying to scam me.
Right.
Because I sell 20 things on there a day.
Right.
It's going to be a lot harder to pull everything that I sell is on video record.
Yeah.
As it goes into the box.
Yeah. That's good.
So
you
but
understand.
an average Joe is not going to have that.
Right.
If somebody tries to file a claim, well, here it is in the box, and now here's how they're saying it appeared.
Right. So if you've got...
And everything we send is insured. Right. So if they want to say that there was shenanigans, okay, let's file a claim with USPS.
Okay.
They're a federal agency.
Right.
So if you want to play games, let's play games.
That's interesting.
I'm more than happy to.
There are ways to protect yourself, but the best way to protect yourself is to partner with someone that understands the business. And will do it for you,
yeah.
And you will, and you know what, you assume the risk, really.
Yeah, I usually just will buy it.
Right.
So if we find some on eBay for $100, so let's say you get $85 back. I'll buy it for $60, $65, $70.
Right.
And do it all.
And you're done with it.
Then you're done with it.
Right.
And I'll make the 20%.
Yeah.
And put the time. I mean, every item takes 15 minutes to list.
Yes.
They're time consuming, then to ship.
Yeah.
So it's not like printing money.
And it's not like I'm just giving you the
money.
You're
I'd rather
earning
just buy it and do it that way, not on my time. But some things there are no comps. So we just say, hey, let's put this on and do a 60-40 split.
Right.
eBay gets 15, we're going to get 25%, and you'll get 60.
Right.
And they like that.
Right.
That's a good way to do it.
That seems like a good way to do it.
We've
Especially with something that doesn't have a lot of comps.
Yeah, no.
You just don't know.
Yeah. And if we want to sell like an entire baseball card collection, and we don't want to go with, it's just more easy to go through the 20 Hall of Famers,
Right.
put them in a lot,
Right.
because shipping becomes expensive.
Right.
So people like to buy lots of goods too.
I noticed in your offices there on Immokalee Road that you have cases and cases of baseball cards, complete sets,
Yep.
Topps, Bowman. You'll have, and it'll have hundreds and hundreds of cards, and they're ready to go.
Luckily, we sold them. They're ready to go. Those were,
They're ready to go. Yeah.
Yep.
You're going to let someone else buy them, go through them, hopefully find
Look
the
for
gems.
the one card. Yeah.
Looking for the one card. It's a roll of the dice, but there are people that actually buy complete sets.
Of course.
And it's the same way with anything. Someone may, you talk about sterling silver. Someone may want that complete set of sterling.
Yeah.
And you might have
And
a
then
weight
they're missing
value.
2 spoons.
Right.
So then they'll have to buy 1 spoon on. Yeah, that's one way of doing it too.
That's one way of doing it.
Yeah.
See, there's all kinds of opportunities out there.
You got to know your options.
Got to know your options.
That's really what it comes down to.
So you're a teacher.
Yeah. Right. My mom was a second grade teacher, so it's inherently a little bit.
There you go. That's what you're teaching the audience.
That's right.
About collectibles. That's what the show's about. Park Shore Coins and Collectibles Hour. I want to let our listeners know that if you want to reach Scott, he's available at 239-961-0816. That's 239-961-0816. The call is text friendly. He says, send me a text. I'll do a free evaluation.
Absolutely. We'll even give you a $5 coupon to bring it in.
There you go. There's your gas
print
money.
it off the website.
If you want to come.
Because gas is expensive now.
Yes.
And it is a nice thing to just kind of offer for people who are kind of on the fence for bringing it in and don't know. Well, here's a little bit of an incentive. Next time you're out, you can at least stop by, show me the coupon.
Yeah. That's
$5.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Listen to that. He's going to pay for you. He's going to give you a gallon of gas just to come visit with him.
Come take a look at it.
You'll beat the competitors' prices on gold and silver, and you can turn these collectibles into cash, and it's instant cash or check or money order or wire transfer.
Trade if you want.
Trade.
You want
There's
to
all
upgrade
kinds
the
of
gold
options.
coins. Yeah, whatever you want. A lot of people, someone just did that. I was going to put on the website, about $4,000 worth of silver, huge box. He turned it into 2 gold coins.
There you go. So they traded. They traded for going coins.
No, and it's a lot easier for him to know what he has. He's got 2 gold Cougarans. Can always kind of check the spot price and figure out what it's worth. When you got 22 pounds of silver and some of it's junk silver, some of it's 1 ounce rounds, it kind of in your head you don't really know where your number's at.
It's easy.
And the storage is not so easy. I mean, we're talking 20 pounds versus 2 ounces.
Easier to track 2 coins. That's a good story to end the show on.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Good one to end the show on. You've been listening to Park Shore Coins and Collectibles Hour. And again, we've been talking with Scott Heiligman, who is the owner of Park Shore Coins. Call him at 239-961-0816 or visit parkshorecoins.com. Scott, as we like to tell everyone in Southwest Florida,
Have a wonderful weekend.
Have a wonderful weekend. If you're on the golf course,
hit them straight, right?
If you're in the Gulf fishing,
put some sunscreen on and
don't
bring
get
back
burned.
some nice sushi for me.
That's right. We want to hear about it when we come back next Saturday.
Don't get lost out there either.
Don't get lost.
You don't want to get lost out there.
It's all paradise.
That's right.
Take care.
All right.
Bye.